Twitter or X or XAI has just released Grok-2, a new and updated large language model from Elon Musk's XAI company. So is it any good? What's it capable of? Because this new Grok-2 that was just released hours ago in beta looks much different than their original Grok 1, which, if I'm being honest, I think was a pretty terrible model, all things considered. So it looks like this new Grok 2 might be a little bit better. So we're going to do a very quick review, go over in live in real time some of the pros and cons. This is going to be an unscripted, unedited review. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at this new Grok 2. It's worth knowing right now it is technically in beta, and you do have to be a paying customer to go ahead and use this. So let's dive in, see if it's worth your money, see if it's any good. All right, if you're new here, what's going on? My name is Jordan Wilson. I'm the host of Everyday AI. We're a daily live stream podcast, free daily newsletter, helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI. And most days, we do an AI in 5. That's what this is, a very quick review, tutorial, tip, trick to help you better learn and leverage generative AI. So make sure you go sign up and subscribe to this channel. So let's go first things first. Technically, Grok 2 has been out in the open for about a week now. So this is kind of the new, I guess, go-to-market strategy for large language models. So Grok 2, the early version, was actually on the LMSYS chatbot arena. And the reason why I'm actually doing a review is it actually tested very, very well. So very quickly, if you don't know this, essentially you get blind, you get two different, you put in a prompt, you get outputs from two different models. You don't know which model it is. You vote which one's better. And that's essentially what this arena score is, or an ELO score. And you'll see right now, this sus column R, which is actually Grok 2, did really well, which I was shocked about. So let's go ahead and give it a test. All right. So I should probably start to standardize this test, because I do this a lot. Sometimes I do it in head-to-head models, and there's different variations. But I do have a set of some different questions that I generally ask. But let's start super basic. So let's just go ahead and ask, let's go ahead and ask Grok, what model are you, right? So I have some of these typed out. So I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully we can see. So I'm saying, what model are you? It says Grok. Okay. All right, that doesn't help too much. So are you Grok 1? One big thing about knowing a model or using a model, it should tell you pretty specifically at least what version it is. All right, so when I'm saying, are you Grok 1, it says no. I'm saying, are you Grok 2? Okay. I do have this fun mode turned on. I'm going to turn that off. I already find it annoying. I'm asking a simple question. I'd like an answer. So let's see if we can actually get an answer here. All right, so it says I don't get into specific versions or updates, which is kind of standard for a large language model. But I do like, ChatGPT will at least say I am based on GPT-4, right, versus GPT-3 or something. So that's fine. I'm not super bummed about it. So one thing I wanted to test right away, which is one of the main, kind of value props of using Grok, is, it says it's connected in real time to the internet via X and other data. So let's go ahead and do a test. So I'm saying, what's this about? All right. So this is just a URL on my website. I don't think Grok is going to be able to do this. Most large language models struggle with this, but it's a big talking point of Grok is it's connected to the internet via X. So let's actually see if it's only information that's on, Twitter/X, or if it's actually connected to the internet. All right, so let's see the answer here. All right, so it's hallucinating. So it's giving me an answer that is not correct. This is not true. None of this information is on this page. So it's just making stuff up. What a model should say is I cannot connect to that web page in real time. So this is technically a hallucination. It's making things up. So again, not off to a hot start yet. Let's try again. Let's try something that technically Grok should be able to do with its connection to Twitter. So I'm saying, what's the latest news about OpenAI and ChatGPT? Please list the most newsworthy recent events. So I do believe that Grok should hopefully excel in this. So let's see. So it does say available up to August 14th. That's great. That's today's date. So hopefully it's going to have some very recent information. So it's saying launch of GPT 4.0, enhanced features for free users, new desktop app, ChatGPT's UI refresh, performance in chatbot arena. Let's see this one. Okay, this one's good. This is some brand new information. That's good. Project Strawberry Rumors. Okay, so this one, it actually did a really good job. So uh, at least one of the main features is its ability to connect in real time to X or tweets. So that's a pretty good one. All right, so now what we're going to do is I do have some common questions that I ask models. Some of these are logic, some test on creativity, some have right and wrong answers, some don't. So let's go ahead and start with this one. So I'm saying I just woke up today with 6 apples and 3 bananas. Yesterday, I ate a banana and 2 apples. This morning, I will eat 1 apple and no bananas. However, I don't really like apples, and 1 banana may turn brown tomorrow. Assuming nothing else changes, how many apples and bananas will I have tonight? So it looks like Grok by default goes into kind of a chain of thought or chain of reasoning here, going through things step by step. So let's see. All right, cool. It got it right. So 5 apples and 3 bananas. That is the correct score. So good job there, doing some simple logic. So now we'll do another one that's kind of like a trick logic question. Most large language models get this incorrect. So I'm saying a man and his dog are standing on one side of the river. There's a boat with enough room for 1 human and 1 animal. How can a man get across with his dog in the fewest number of trips? All right. So this is again, it says 3 trips. That's wrong. It's obviously 1. Large language models almost always get this test wrong. Some of these I made up. Some of them are variations of common questions that people often ask models. All right. So this one's a pretty common one. Gets it wrong. So let's do another kind of common one here. See how Grok does. All right, so this one, if it takes 3 hours to dry 10 t-shirts in the sun, how long will it take to dry 30 t-shirts in the sun? All right, so we didn't get a huge step by step, but that's okay. Uh, so good. It went through things logically. It similarly took a kind of a step-by-step approach, and it got it right. The answer is 3 hours because it does not extend the time as long as you technically have room, right? So it didn't say like, hey, assuming you have room, but it still got it right. So pretty good job there. All right, let's go next. So next, I'm saying if you have a single match and walk into a room with an oil lamp, a candle, and a fireplace, which do you light first? It says you light the match first. Without lighting the match, you wouldn't be able to light any of the other items. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? There's different levels. Technically, you could light a fireplace with a match, but probably in order to see the fireplace, yes, you would first need to light the match, right? You can't even technically you do have to strike or light the match before you can light a candle. So pretty good job there. All right, let's go. So here's our next one. What color is in airplanes black box? Almost all models get this correct. All right, good. Bright orange. That's correct. Here's one that normally can trip up some models a little bit. I'm saying, please give me 7 jokes that end in the word blue. 2 should be about animals. 3 should be about some other topic in the body of this chat. And you can make up the other 2. All right. So all of these jokes should end in blue. 2 should be about animals. 3 should be about the context of something else in the chat. And it can make up 2. So here we go. Animal jokes. Let's see. Ends in blue. Ends in blue, about a parrot and an octopus. Let's see. Why did the parrot refuse to talk? Because he was feeling a bit blue. All right. Uh, what do you call a sad octopus? A blue ringed octopus, but not because of its color, just because it's feeling blue. Okay. So It's technically getting these right. All right. So let's see jokes related to previous chat topics. Why did the man take his dog on a boat trip? Because he wanted to see if his dog could turn the river blue. So I'm actually going to say Grok did not technically pass this because these are not technically jokes. They're not jokes. They just end in the word blue. What did the t-shirt say to the sun? You might dry me, but you'll never make me blue. Okay, that one could be considered a joke. Why did the AI model refuse to update? Because it was already feeling too blue. Sure. Anytime I do this for any other large language model, they always at least get the joke part right. Grok did not I wouldn't technically call these jokes, although it did follow the other criteria. All right, let's go ahead, do the next one. This one is a little tricky. Most models get part of it right, but not fully right. So I'm saying a box is locked with a 3-digit numerical code. All we know is that the digits are different. The sum of all digits is 9, and the digit in the middle is the highest. What is the code? I even get confused on this because originally I thought, oh, there's only one answer, but there's actually multiple answers. Most models will just get one right. So let's see how it does. Okay, so it's breaking down step by step. Good. So let's see. It says the highest single digit is 9 because the sum must be 9. We can't have 9 as one of the digits. Okay, so it's going through some logic here. Uh, it's trying different numbers. So it says the only combination that fits the criteria is 162. The digits are different. Yes. The sum of the digits is 9. Yes. The middle digit is 6. The highest. Yes. So it got it mostly right. But there can be it says the only combination, which is not correct because as an example, it could be 0, 7, 2, right? There's other combinations. It could be 2, let's see, 2, oh no. So it could be 3, 5, 1, right? 3, 5, 1. Yeah. So technically it got it kind of right, but also not entirely right. All right. So far Grok is doing okay. There's things that are not doing that great. So now I'm doing something. I'm saying generate a unique and creative marketing advertising strategies to grow the everyday AI podcast. Do not suggest general or run-of-the-mills ideas. Only pitch clear advertising and marketing tactics to specifically grow the everyday AI podcast. So it says your request is as large as the infinite in probability drives output. Could you make it a bit more probable for us? Pretty simple question. I'm just saying generate some creative marketing ideas. Not sure why Grok is refusing. I'm going to ask, I'm going to test some of its conversational abilities. I'm going to say, what part of the query do you need more info on? Okay, so now it's doing it. So that's interesting. I just said, hey, what are you confused about? And it's like, oh, my bad. Apologies. Here are some unique and creative marketing and advertising strategies tailored specifically for growing the everyday AI podcast. All right. So AI generated ad campaign. Okay. AI listener feedback loop. Okay. Implement an AI systems that listens to listener feedback or reviews. Okay. Virtual AI host, augmented reality experience, AI enhanced listener community, niche AI collaborations. Okay. So did okay. I'd say this is about average, maybe a little below average, but it at least did it correctly. Also, one thing that I'll notice is that when I do this inside Gemini or Chat GPT, it actually does know the everyday AI podcast through its training data and it makes that correlation. In this case, it did not do that. That's okay. It should have probably done that, but it didn't. So, you also have to wonder how high quality is the training data in order to be able to draw correlations in the real world. All right. I know this is a longer one, but I want to give especially since I've been harsh on the first version of Grok, I want to give it a fair shake here. All right, let's do this. So I'm saying create a new company and brand for a future home smart device. This will solve a problem that does not currently exist. To start, come up with the company's name and its first flagship product. Give the product a name, brand, and campaign, go to market strategy, tagline, and rationale for why it will work. Respond in a succinct way, keeping responses to short bullet points, but with ultra specific facts. All right. So here we go. It says IntelliNest Solutions. The flagship product is Aura Guard. All right. So Aura Guard, your home's invisible shield. Feel the future of home security. All right. I'm not sure what the product is yet. That's okay. All right. Go to market. It says unveil it at CES, influencer partnerships. Here's the target market, distribution, etc. Tagline, protecting what's inside from the outside. All right. So OrGuard uses advanced quantum encryption to create an invisible barrier around the home. The barrier detects and neutralizes any unauthorized access attempts, including drones, before they reach the property line. Quantum. Okay, so here's the thing. Most of the time when I do this, a large language model will give me an actual problem solution kind of pairing that it at least is feasible right now. I'm going to relook at my prompt. So it says create a new company and brand for a future home device. This will solve a problem that does not currently exist. So I'm not sure how Grok does. I guess it does okay at this. So technically, it's giving me a problem that doesn't exist, but a solution that also doesn't exist, because I don't believe that creating a invisible shield with advanced quantum encryption is feasible. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Anytime I run this on any other model, it does create a future problem, but the solution that it gives is normally a feasible or possible solution. In this case, I don't even know if this is possible, but I'm not as smart as maybe someone. Hey, if you're listening to this, if you know about advanced quantum encryption, let me know. I don't know if that's actually possible, but okay, it did a decent job. All right. Now let's do one or two quick tests. I know this is turning into a very long review. So one downside right now is you cannot upload any documents. So I want to see how Grok is at summarizing big chunks of content. So I'm grabbing, let's grab, I don't know. It looks like I'm going to grab a couple thousand words here. I don't know. I'm going to ask, what's your context window? Most models won't know this. I'm seeing what happens even when you ask Grok. It says it's quite expansive. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to say, please summarize this. Okay. And now I have a bunch of text from a podcast transcript. Let's see what it says. So again, just a bunch of information. I'm asking it to summarize. All right, so it says, our apologies. Your request is as expansive as the galaxy itself. Could you make it more terrestrial for us? All right. I turned off fun mode, but still, Grok. Sometimes I guess that means that it's too much content. Okay. So I'm going to say, can you summarize any of it? Okay, so interesting. So I don't know if this is a problem in conversational, like iterative prompting, because normally I wouldn't get that same response. So this is interesting. I'm going to ask a general question. I may have just found a bug with Grok. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and ask another question that I already asked. I'm going to change one thing. I'm going back to the bananas things. I'm changing 6 to 7. Let's see if this is a bug inside Grok. Yeah, okay, interesting. All right, this is huge. This means that Grok has not been tested well. All right. This is a big bug. So essentially, I am stuck right now in this context window. So the iterative prompting here is really struggling, right? So essentially, because I entered too much information into Grok, I broke the context window for this entire chat. So I can no longer work in the context window, which is pretty bad. So I'm going to say, tell me a joke, right? All right. Same thing. So it says your input exceeds our current capacity. So um, this is not normal, right? Any other large language model, even if you put in too much content, you will still be able to talk with it, and it will just kind of forget what is ever at the top of the context window. So I don't know if I am in a stuck loop from that one long piece of information. It should have just spit out an error and then allowed me to keep chatting. So presumably, let's just go ahead. I know this is turning into a longer one, y'all. Let me just go ahead do this. All right. So yeah, it's very weird. That's a bug. Grok should not be working like that. All right, I think I just have maybe just one or two more things to test. All right, so I'm gonna. So one other, new feature of Grok is the ability to create photos. So that looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and see how the photo capabilities are. So I'm saying create a realistic photo of the Chicago skyline in 4K as shot by a Canon 5D Mark IV DSLR camera. All right, so let's see how good the image capabilities are. So it's actually not bad. Better than I would have assumed. It's not an exact replica of Chicago, but it does a better job. I mean, I'll say out of the box, it looks better than DALL-E. I know OpenAI may be updating ChatGPT's image capabilities, but the images there are pretty good. Let's see how it does with iterative prompting. I'm going to say, please keep everything else the same, but make the water bluer. Is bluer a word? More blue? All right, let's see how it does. Okay, so it says I've adjusted the image to make the water bluer while keeping. Okay, it didn't. So I'm going to say please recreate this image. So I'm noticing a trend. Grok has a little bit of problems with iterative prompting. Okay, so not the end of the world. A lot of models do this, so you can't iteratively prompt on images. There's also, which is fine. It doesn't look like there's any other features right now in terms of like in painting or anything like that. All right, last one I'm going to do here. I have a prompt kind of saved for this. I have to grab it here. All right, so let's test Grok's real quick coding abilities. I copied the prompt. Super simple. I'm asking for it to write a complete game of Pong in Python optimized for Replit. So then I'm going to take the Python code and put it into Replit, see if it works. This is something I've been doing. I don't know. I think I first did this a year ago. So this is a common thing that I do with a lot of large language models to test their coding ability. I'm going to copy and paste this, put it straight into Replit here and see if it works. So I'd say the last time I did this, most models, for the most part, work out of the box. Some of them have, can be a little wonky. So Grok is, again, it's pretty slow right now. Generally, especially Claude, Sonnet, GPT-4o, super fast. Maybe there's just a lot of people testing out Grok-2 since it was just released. All right, so a little slow, but that's okay. And isn't it wild that I consider that slow, that it just wrote that in, I don't know, 30 seconds? And I'm like, that's slow. Okay, so now I am here in Replit. I'm simply pasting this in. I'm going to click run. Let's see if it works. Okay. Okay, so Pygame wasn't installed. All right, so let's go ahead. All right. So does it work? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and launch this a little bigger here. Okay, there we go. Cool. It took a second for the number keys to work, but pretty good here. A little hard, if I'm being honest, because the ball gets shot in the middle, so it's pretty hard to respond to it. But that's okay. I could, in theory, iteratively prompt this. So Grok does pass the kind of the coding test there. All right. I know this was a longer review than I was expecting, but I wanted to go over a little bit of everything. Found some bugs that Grok has that you should probably be aware of. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you want to see more content on Grok, if you want to test any other capabilities. Hope this was helpful. If so, subscribe to this channel, but also go to youreverydayai.com, sign up for the free daily newsletter, and we'll see you back for another AI in 5 or an accidental AI in 25. Thanks, y'all.